Hello everyone, this is me Saurabh Avasthi, English faculty of Mount Litra G School Jhansi, and today we are going to study chapter of class 11th, which is Discovering Tut, the Saga Continues, written by A.R. Williams. So let's begin about this chapter today. So the first thing is about the author. A.R. Williams or N. Williams is a former senior writer for National Geographic magazine and online news. Her specialization is in the field of archaeology, about which she writes features about places varying from Egypt to as far as Alaska. These appear as a monthly piece for the Ancient Worlds section of the National Geographic magazine. She also writes about any new discoveries which she finds anywhere happening in the world. Okay, so now let's continue with the introduction of this chapter. Discovering Tut, the Saga Continues, gives an insight into the mystery surrounding the life and death of Tutankhamun, the last teenage ruler of the powerful Pharaoh dynasty that had ruled Egypt for centuries. He was the last of his family's line, and his funeral brought an end to this powerful dynasty. Not much is known about his family. So this was the introduction of the chapter, and now we are going to begin with the summary of the chapter now. King Tut's mummy was one of the first mummies to be taken for a CT scan. As the mummy of King Tut was glided for performing a CT scan, angry winds stirred and dark clouds covered the stars. His scan was being done to unearth the mysteries that had surrounded his death. Tourists had lined to pay their respects to the mummy of the famous Egyptian king Tutankhamun and made speculations about his untimely death. The mummy was in a very bad state according to Jahi Habas, who was Secretary General of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities. King Tut's tomb was first discovered in 1922. This point is important for you all guys. 1922 by Howard Carter, a British archaeologist. Tut was found buried with numerous funerary treasures in a coffin made of pure gold. As we can assume that he was a very rich person, that's why the treasures found included precious collars, inlaid necklaces and bracelets, rings, amulets, a ceremonial apron, sandals and sheaths for his fingers and toes. And here the treasure are till date the richest royal collections ever found. Some everyday items considered to be needed in the afterlife like board games, bronze razor, linen undergarments, cases of food and wine were also found. This revealed that the ancient Egyptians believed in the idea of resurrection and hoped to take their riches with them. So this shows somewhere that the people of that time used to think that the person who dies in this world gets another life in the another world now. So there is, that means, a concept of afterlife during that time. So now Carter's investigations comes here, where Carter investigated the three nested coffins. In the first, a shroud adorned with garlands of willow and olive leaves, wild celery, lotus petals and cornflowers were found. This gave evidence that the death might have taken place in the month of March or April. Carter faced difficulty in extracting the mummy of the king out of the coffin. The ritual resins had hardened, resulting in cementing of Tut to the bottom of the solid gold coffin. That's why, due to all these things, that means found in that coffin have made it hard. Though Carter unsuccessfully tried to use the sun to loosen the resins, there was no other way left to separate the mummy from the adornments than to chisel it away. Its head had to be removed and the major joints had to be detached. The only ground for Carter to defend himself was chiseling. That was that thieves would have ripped the body apart to rob the gold if he had not chiseled it. So that's why it was a decision of Carter. As the archaeology changed with the advent of time, it focused more on details of life and mysteries of death than on treasures. Some 40 years after Carter's discovery in 1968, a startling fact was revealed. In the discovery of an anatomy professor who had x-rayed the mummy, he claimed that the breastbone and the front ribs of the mummy were missing. And how did it happen? Nobody knows. So, Tut's family history. Now we are going to start with the family of the Tut's family now, where Amenhotep III, Tut's father or grandfather, ruled for almost 4 decades during the 18th dynasty, Golden Age. He was succeeded by his son Amenhotep IV, who pioneered one of the odd periods in the history of ancient Egypt. He made some drastic and unpleasant changes. He promoted the worship of the Aten, the sun disk, and changed his name to Akhenaten. He moved the religious capital to the new city of Akhenaten. So here this was the drastic change which took place during the time of Amenhotep. And now he made some drastic unpleasant changes. He destroyed the images and temples of Amun, a major god. After his demise, a ruler named Smenkhare reigned for a brief time. Finally, Tutankhaten, the name was later changed to Tutankhamun, took the throne and restored the old order destroyed by his predecessors. He reigned for about 9 years. So right now, the name which was Tutankhaten has been changed to Tutankhamun and now has started improving everything, that was restoring the old order which was destroyed by his predecessors. So now this was the change which came in the empire of Tutankhamun during his era, or we can say during his time. Okay, Tutankhamun or King Tut, as he is widely known today, died as a teenage pharaoh, ancient Egyptian king, and was buried laden with gold. He was the last heir of the family of rulers who had ruled Egypt for centuries. His unexpected demise was a big event, and the reasons for his death remained unclear. 2 of the biggest questions are still unanswered about him. How did he die, and how old was he at the time of his death? So this was the summary of this chapter, where still people are discovering, all the archaeologists are trying to find out the reality, that what was the actual reason of the death of Tutankhamun, who was the last pharaoh of the Egyptian dynasty, whose family ruled for centuries. Now in the year 2005, more than 3,300 years after his death, King Tut's mummy became one of the first mummies to undergo a CT scan, in death as in life, moving regally ahead of his countrymen. The CT scan was led by Jahi Hawass and done with a portable CT machine. The scan came up with new clues about his life and death. It proved precise data for an accurate forensic reconstruction of King Tut. Due to sand in the cooler fan of the CT machine, they had to use 2 plastic fans to complete the scanning process, which was not so easy, because during that time people used to think and they believe in the curse of that mummy, because During that time, they used to say that this king used to say that no need to disturb my mummy. That's why his spirit always used to be there. Tut's body was examined over a computer screen with the help of the CT scan. It showed a grey head, neck vertebrae, a hand, several images of the rib cage, and a transection of the skull. After collecting the data for scan, the pharaoh was sent back to the place he belonged, that is, his coffin. It was a relief for Jahi Habbas, as nothing had gone wrong with the mummy. So here they were afraid, but at last finally they got relief because nothing gone wrong. Okay, so now after their observations, when they left, the wind had stopped and the surrounding came to a deathly silence. In the sky, just above the entrance to Tut's tomb, stood Orion, the constellation also called by the Egyptians as the soul of Osiris, the god of afterlife, watching over the boy king. So here this story shows somewhere that a spiritual effect was also there, and mythology says that the god of afterlife, who was Osiris, who took that spirit along with him, and finally everything got silent. Okay, so now this was the summary of the chapter, which is Discovering Tut. The saga continues. So now I hope that you must have understood the story, and now few question answers are here for you for your practice. My first question is, why was King Tut's body subjected to repeated scrutiny? And the answer is, King Tut's body has been subjected to repeated scrutiny for the riches it was buried with. There has also been a lot of speculations about the manner of his death and the time of his death. So finally, this was the reason that why his body was subjected to repeated scrutiny. Now the question number 2 is, list the deeds that led Ray Johnson to describe Akhenaten as wacky. According to Ray Johnson, Akhenaten was wacky because he promoted the worship of Aten instead of Amun. He moved the religious capital from Thebes to the new city of Akhenaten, smashed Amun's images, closed Amun's temples, and changed his name to Akhenaten, or servant of Aten. So this was question 2. Now third one. List the advances in technology that had improved forensic analysis. And the answer is, the advances in technology that have improved forensic analysis are as follows. First point, today diagnostic imaging can be done by computed tomography or CT. Second point, in CT hundreds of X-rays in cross-section are put together like slices of bread to create a three-dimensional virtual body. And the last one, third point is, the X-ray images in cross-section can scan even the intricate structure by reducing it to its slices in millimeters. So finally, this was the summary as well as the question answers of this chapter, Tutankhamun. Okay, now I hope that you must have understood the summary and the question answers completed in this video. Thank you so much. We will meet again in the next video with another chapter. Till then, stay safe, stay at home. Thank you so much.